TCIG X Spaces Highlights April 2025 Part 6.
We hate banks and we don't need them anymore because there are decentralized banks that it's just like creating a bank account, but creating a wallet address, and that creates your crypto wallet. So it's something I say in a lot of our posts, that you are a wallet address away from the outdated Web 2 online to the ownership Web 3 on-chain. You can contribute to this movement today. Think outside the bubble you live in. Nothing is black and white. It's always gray. We the people have a chance to be in charge instead of corporations, instead of governments, and instead of the ones you don't even know about. I read something the other day that there could be 1 billion people living on Earth that we don't even know about. There's a ton more out there than you think. And even the stats of the amount of people that we have on the planet are fake. We don't even know how many people are on the planet. There's over 11 million crypto, and this is just the beginning. Bitcoin adoption is where the internet was in 1995. The online internet is being replaced by on-chain. So you'll either get with the times or you will be left behind. It doesn't wait for anyone. Like I said before, a bank is just a business like everything else. And if you see what we see, you can be your own bank and fight against the banks, because we hate banks and they're just a business that does not have your money. Your money is not real in a bank. The only money that is real is crypto on blockchain in self-custody. So be your own bank and save the planet. It is the first time that the convergence of energy and technology has come out in the form of a money, which is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just a technology, but it comes from energy. And when people say it's not backed by anything, it's backed by a hash rate that is combined with all the energy from Bitcoin mining all around the world, 24/7, 365. And so most people spend far beyond their means. Like I was saying before, if you really dig deep and you really break down everything you spend your money on, 9.9 out of 10 times, there's probably something that you can adjust about your lifestyle. Or people outside of crypto think that crypto bros are just all about the money. It is disheartening to see that, a lot of the people, they post about getting rich, and that has been the narrative, that when you invest in crypto, you get rich. And a lot of people do not see it other than that. At TCIG, it's so painful to hear those things. When you understand the full picture, it is so much more than money. So much more. It's freedom, it's equality, it's prosperity, it's access, the efficiency. It's supporting decentralized systems instead of the old system that just keeps the centralized monsters in power. So I would rather die a fighter for global economic freedom than be a follower of slavery to the 1%. Everyone puts their pants on the same way, and no one is above another human surviving on a ball of energy floating in space. So choose your hard. I chose mine. It's been a lot of work to get here. This is just the beginning. We haven't even seen the beginning. Once we see Bitcoin breach the 138,000 stem, that is when the real Bitcoin bull run starts. Bitcoin is better than gold in every way. This stuff doesn't change, it won't change. If you care about any of these things on the left-hand side, inflation, savings, debt, risk, tariffs, freedom, financial inclusion, innovation, technology, AI, robotics, cybersecurity, quantum computing, gold again, energy, Bitcoin is important to all of these. This is a groundbreaking report that came out from Cambridge University. It has been years in the making. There's a couple graphs that have come out from this. One showing that 75% of all Bitcoin mining is in the United States. And some of these other things I'm going to rattle off are from a LinkedIn post. It's not on X. It's from Daniel Batten. I've mentioned him many times. He is a climate tech investor and a Bitcoin analyst. Their report shows that most of the Bitcoin network is now powered by zero-emission energy sources. So their last report showed 37%, and now it is showing 52.4% of the entire network is zero emissions, is less emission intensive than all other major global industries. Also, network emissions have been overestimated for the last 4 years, and it's roughly half the previous estimates. Despite the network size and how much it's growing every day, emissions have not increased in the last 4 years, and that's due to machine efficiency, which the efficiency has increased 73,000 times what it was in the beginning in 2009. And also because of the improved sustainability energy mix that they have going into Bitcoin mining, that they're basically trying to bring in all energy sources to power Bitcoin mining. And then the methane mitigation, it says when the impact of mining uses carbon-reducing sources such as flare gas, the net emissions drops, which means that methane mitigation is currently offsetting 5.5% of the total network emissions. Some other findings from it is about the grid stabilization. It formally recognizes the ability of Bitcoin mining companies to both help stabilize the power grids and also reduce renewable energy curtailment. For other findings, it says e-waste. There's an e-waste myth that is effectively trashed, that the report highlights that 86.9% of Bitcoin rigs are recycled, reused, or sold. And so in total, the amount of e-waste estimated is 1,175% less than what they were estimating. Crypto yield strategies for passive income. Your native or just original staking, you lock up your tokens, your potential return could be 3 to 15%. Liquid staking basically just takes the native staking model to another level, that you stake your tokens and you receive a token in return that then you could use in other DeFi activities. That's 5 to 25%. And there's also restaking, where you earn rewards from securing external networks, 10 to 20%. Of course, lending, Bayless, Aave, or Maple, there's a lot of DeFi lending platforms. So those are just 5 to 20%. And this next one is the most, liquidity. So you deposit tokens into a liquidity pool on a DEX, a decentralized exchange. You earn trading fees and different incentives, and that could be 5 to 100+%. Where else do you find that? Real world assets, you deploy stablecoins into these tokenized funds, a return of passive income, 4 to 10%, and then advanced yield generation methods. There's a lot of different DeFi strategies for yield aggregating, and with the rise of AI agents, I feel like this 10 to 50% is actually pretty low. Released today was that BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, is tokenizing a money fund worth $150 billion. $150 billion. Treasury trust fund on none other but Ethereum. And it's using BNY Mellon as a custodian. Their assets under management are only, 50 trillion. It targets institutional investors with a minimum investment set at $3 million. CEO Larry Fink, he emphasized how tokenization could speed up processes, remove delays, and allow funds to reinvest more efficiently. And of course, their build fund is also on Ethereum, largest growing tokenized fund to date. This is the Bitcoin supply distribution. And you can see that the vast majority of Bitcoin is in the hands of individuals. The sexes, centralized exchanges, they hold the second largest amount, and then miners, third largest amount. It's hard to believe that these ETFs that bring in inflows of billions per day only hold 5%. And companies, this is from Dennis Porter, over 180 entities or companies now have a Bitcoin treasury, collectively holding over 3.2 million Bitcoin. You can see from the chart that this is a pretty new thing. ETFs only really started, gaining momentum after 2020. And then you have all these others moving in, private companies, exchanges. And for anyone who is believing any of the reports about a recession, you're just misinformed. And they're misinformed. They just like to spread FUD. A lot of people like to and are paid to spread FUD. So just know that a lot of these accounts are built just to, and for anyone who doesn't know what FUD is, it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So there's a lot of accounts out there that are basically hired to spread doomsday kind of information when we're looking at the most prosperous years the world has ever seen. As far as the top investments going on, pretty shortly, for the United States boom, is mainly in AI and chips. Apple announced a $500 billion investment for U.S. production. NVIDIA, $500 billion for AI chip plants in Texas and Arizona. Stargate, $500 billion for AI infrastructure. That is a deal with OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank. IBM, $150 billion for R&D and manufacturing. TSMC, $100 billion for U.S. semiconductors. And Hyundai, with $20 billion plus. There is nothing stopping this train, and there is no slowing down.
Hop on the train and get on chain. Let's cut out all the noise and build together.